Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Dice Warmers, a podcast where we talk about all things geeky and we occasionally have structure and coherent thoughts. I am Vass, and with me today, as always, we have Kaz
Hello.
and David.
Oh, hi.
And welcome to our fourth ever episode. Whatever that was, David.
I tried to
just
make
me
it
who
so
wondered
each
then.
week.
Oh,
Trying to
hi.
hold the laugh in. I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's doing a different one each time.
I usually try to hold my first F-bomb for like mid-episode, but what the fuck was that?
No. He's starting up a collection for us. Collect every David high.
Oh, man.
It's a new card collection, but it's a digital card collection.
I love my last one move. It was, oh, hello.
Ooh, hello.
I-
Ooh, arr.
That's a limited collector's item. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
You have to. Yeah.
Only about like 30 people have it.
I tell you what, though, it'll have to be one of those tune in to find out what David's going to say next time. So
It's gonna be hello, but how will he say it?
exactly.
I think they won like 5 seconds before, so I think, oh, that could be good. And then they go
So,
completely wrong.
David, if people want to tune in and find us and talk to us and connect with us, how can they find us?
Oh, so we have many channels now. From Twitter to Facebook to Reddit to YouTube and our Anchor, which connects all our platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, Google Podcasts.
Well, we're across all platforms now. Really, we're so good, we're
Mm,
amazing, we're like the best podcast.
I
in the
know.
world. Also, dicewarmers.com will lead you now to our
Yes.
anchor page. I know,
Mhm.
shocking, isn't it?
I know.
Soon be up and running.
Is it up and
I
running?
mean, it
Probably
already
by-
points to our anchor page.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. But yeah, as David kind of said, we're on all social media.
Mhm.
You can reach us, send us a message, and let us know how much you hate this podcast. And if by
Or love it. Either
Well-
one, really.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to just hear hate mail. As interesting as that stuff
I
is.
would love to get some hate mail.
I know, right?
We'll have
But
to.
I don't just want hate mail.
I mean,
Love
I
mail
don't-
is pretty cool as well. Just there's a certain boundary though. Don't get all stalkerish.
I'll
Yeah.
take any mail.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, by the way, you can drop us an email at dicewarmers@gmail.com
Mhm.
Yes.
if you have an email. Because you are a cave person and you don't use Instagram.
Well, email I always find could be a bit more.
I use email. I don't know
wordy.
why I'm dissing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, doesn't everybody use email? Why?
I'm trying
Why
to-
would you
I'm trying to-
diss?
I'm
Oh,
trying
you're
to
trying
be
to reach a
hip
younger
and
audience.
young, and yeah.
You do realise that
Wait.
most of the people listening to us are probably going to be between David's and your age range. They're not.
Yeah.
Meh. I mean,
That's a 20-year gap.
all right,
that you just described.
let's put it this way then. David's mental age
Oh.
to your age, so it's like
To
a
my-
5-year gap.
To my mental age, because that's
No, not your
Oh.
mental age, because your mental age is younger than David's actual age.
Yeah, that's true.
So your
Oh.
real age and David's
It's in the
mental age.
minuses.
So that's like what, a 5-year gap?
Wait. In your mind,
Eh.
what is my mental age?
Probably
I
about
don't wanna say on air.
35 sometimes. Sometimes it's like 89,
And sometimes
89.
it's 5.
Sometimes it's
David.
5, yeah.
It's like I know he's trying to form a sentence.
I
know he's trying
completely
to
understand him. I
communicate.
don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, you understand him. I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, that's your problem, not David's
Ah.
problem.
Well, I don't know. I have some people who will agree with me.
But there are also some people who would agree with me. Apparently, all
Mm.
his family. Well, I don't know. David, do your family understand you?
Kind of, yes.
That's a
Some-
horrible
some-
question.
It's not a horrible
Some-
question.
Sometimes
It is.
I kind of am dumbfounded by how they could not get something, and I have to say it again. But I know.
Okay,
first
see?
Okay, so his family don't. All right.
Yeah.
Take it back. There's something wrong with me and David. Okay.
Oh, poor me.
I understand you perfectly, David. That's why I like GMing you, because I understand what you're trying to get at, and it's
Mhm.
amusing.
I know.
I
Oh.
eventually understand what he's trying to.
After
Get
I've
out.
translated.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
poor David.
It is.
We love you, really.
Yeah, there's always one section during the podcast. It's like, oh,
Diss on David.
Where we
Diss on
take the
David.
piss.
No, it's called Diss on David. It's an actual part of the podcast. We just don't know when it's coming out.
So it's DOD. Like D&D. Get
Oh,
it? Oh, God. I made a
my
bad
word.
joke.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
did.
But
you know what? They're still funny. They're the best
They
kind
are.
of jokes, I think.
It's that phenomenon where it's so bad it goes like full circle back to being good.
Yeah, I think it's like it's a good aged, I don't know, whiskey, wine. What's that one that they have when it's aged well?
Wine. I mean, wine ages. Whiskey
Alright.
also ages.
There you go. They age well.
Yes, like a nice wine.
Yes.
There we go. We made an adult metaphor.
Grown up of us. Right, now let's go
Yeah.
back to not talking grown up because
I
that was
said
boring.
adult metaphor, and in my head it sounded dirty for some reason. Like it was
XXX.
exactly. Ew, that was
Ooh,
an
yeah.
adult metaphor. Naughty.
Your subscription
What was
is
that
overdue.
voice? You're dissing David for his hello voice. What was that? Naughty.
That was my naughty voice.
As I say, as I say, goodness.
And poor David is recording this with his parents around, and he can't really.
He's not allowed to say anything.
To be honest, a mixer is going on in the background, so I am pretty muffled, kind of.
Okay.
But I know my dog is going to come through that door and open it all out for everyone to hear. So
that's
that
why
would be
episode
terrible.
3 was the best.
Why was
Up until now, because David's parents weren't around.
Oh yeah.
So I could talk about
that's why we could
the dragon
talk about
story.
the dildo story. I mean,
Yeah.
the dragon story.
Dragons. The story about dragons.
Not dildos. Dragons.
No, dragons.
Here be dragons.
Okay, let's.
You know what's so interesting about that story is that later on I actually found out what actual ones he did have.
Well, he had more than that.
No, he had a different company. One from a different company.
How did you Google it? Please tell me you Googled it.
He messaged it on Twitter.
What?
And I went,
he listened to our podcast and messaged on Twitter?
No, I just follow him, and I went, oh my goodness, my memory sort of clicked after that episode. I went, oh no, that's it. That's the one he got. So
fair enough.
I'm so confused now. Did that happen then or after our episode?
After our episode.
So you messaged him?
No, he messaged something on Twitter.
He definitely listened to our podcast and messaged on Twitter. He didn't want to admit that he was listening to our podcast, but there is no way he just randomly, coincidentally decided to Twitter about his
after
dragon
3
dildos.
years or something, 2 years.
Yeah, randomly out of the blue. No. Had to have been.
Oh well, it's a listener.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm just flabbergasted by the physics of it all. Like, how, honestly, how can they get? It boggles the mind. I'm if you can see my face right now, it's like that GIF.
Do you want to talk human anatomy, David? Is that what
no?
No, thank you.
Because I can go in depth.
Please don't.
Much like that.
I mean, from a nursing perspective, no, I won't. I don't want to gross out the last of our listeners.
Can we not?
No, yeah, I think that's fair.
Can we go on to
let's actually talk about some
topics.
geeky shit.
Yeah.
What
has everyone been up to this last weeks?
Well, we had we didn't have Cthulhu. We had D&D last night.
We didn't have Cthulhu. No.
We didn't have Cthulhu. No, it was
We did have that game, wasn't it? Odyssey, was it?
We had
Odyssey
that last night. Yeah.
Dragonlords.
That was awesome.
Which is an amazing setting. I like the setting, even though it's a bit over the top. I like
it's
that
supposed to be.
I like that it doesn't shy away from being over the top. Like it knows what it is, and it just goes all the way.
Yeah.
It blatantly steals from Greek mythology and is proud about it. You know, and I love it. It's really fun.
Last
and
night,
Phil is an amazing DM. As
well. Yeah.
As
really
Rob
is.
will tell you, he is an amazing, great DM, better than Cazz.
Yeah.
Well, not my words.
Apparently.
It's actually Rob said that. So
Oh.
Well,
You'll
I
have
don't
to
know
pick up
if
the
he actually
politician.
said those exact words, but he said I
That's-
wasn't shit
That's what I
and
heard,
that
Kaz.
Phil was an amazing GM and that I wasn't shit. Those were his exact words. He may have gone back on them afterwards, but those were the first words.
And he
Anyway,
lived to regret them.
he still lived. Let's just leave it at that. However, last night's game was awesome. We came up against a six-armed giant cyclops, and he was kicking my
So a,
butt. And
a Gigan.
yeah, he wasn't really kicking my butt. I was on 12 health
He was kicking
after
your butt.
one hit. Hey,
Wow.
come on now. Okay, his first hit was 12 damage. He
Yes.
wasn't really kicking my butt because I was still on higher health than most of the party.
That doesn't
Alright.
matter though if you're the
Eh.
only one alive. You know.
I'd have just taken all the health potions. It was fine.
Oh.
But so we got to the point where he'd managed to grapple me with two of his arms, and Rob came up with an awesome idea. He had a potion that would put this creature to sleep
Okay.
for 8 hours, and it was a case of if you roll well, you hit just the
Mhm.
creature. If you roll somewhere in the middle, you hit the creature and me, and if he rolls badly, he hits the creature, me, and Vass's character.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
Right?
you didn't actually save, did you? You didn't have to save.
I didn't have to save because he rolled so well that it just hit the creature. Bearing in mind that I was within the creature's grasp. So I think Phil was being very nice to us because, in all honesty, I don't think it should have worked that way. But I'm very glad that it did.
I've played with Phil before, and he's one of those DMs that lets the dice fall where they may. He doesn't pull any punches, so I wouldn't say he was.
I think
he
he
was easy
twists
on us.
things a little bit though. It wasn't him rolling the dice. It was. I mean, the Gigan failed his save roll, which was very
Yeah,
lucky of us.
all the dice were out in
But-
the open. What do you mean?
But Rob rolling, I think he might have maybe fudged in his head where the border lied. Otherwise, you guys would have had to drag me out of there. Somehow get me out of the Gigan's grasp without waking the Gigan, because you shake him awake, he wakes up again.
I think it was
Okay.
just what you call it, an instance of the rule of cool. So
Yes.
he didn't want to throw a shadow on Rob's amazing idea with a mechanic,
No, exactly.
So he just let it happen, and it was
That's
as
what I
it should
mean.
be.
So I think because of that, we managed to get away with it. We probably shouldn't have, if you're looking at rules and mechanics and stuff. But it was pretty freaking awesome. So he knocked him out, and everyone's like, "Should we raid the body? Should we just kill him when he's there?" This whole debate with this Gigan laying at our feet, and we were like, "Well,
we should say that the Gagan wasn't like the boss.
no,
He was like the
What?
henchman of the boss.
Wow. Do you
yeah." So
spend-
after he fell
The
asleep,
boss was easy.
Do you
I
spend
climbed
8
over
hours
the
speaking?
table and smashed her in the skull with my great axe.
Oh.
So yeah, after nearly being defeated by a Gigan, not one more hit and I probably would have gone down.
we would have been in trouble. Like we were rolling horribly.
Oh, it was bad rolls last night. Really bad rolls for all of us.
And we were foolish enough to walk into that encounter with like no spell slots, not rested. We just and we knew that these things were there.
Yeah.
We knew that, but all of us like totally forgot, and we're like la 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 la, and just barged in.
Hang on, you say we all forgot. You forgot. I knew there was a giant in there somewhere. I just didn't know where.
Okay, so why didn't you propose to have a long rest then?
Well, we tried to. I did
We
ask.
didn't.
I
Did
said,
you not
can we have a
sleep?
long rest instead? And everyone's like, no, we only need a short rest. And I'm like, all right then.
Did the feng shui of the actual room you were going to rest in it's not that great? Was that the reason why you didn't rest?
No, thanks, Ray.
No, we'd had 2 weeks without playing, so I think it was just a case of I knew I should have said something. I knew there was one in there because we'd been told we had to fight this little girl for the information. So basically, we asked what was in there. Were there any more goatlings? And she went, yeah, there's some goatlings in there. And she was just like, yeah, there's a load of goatlings.
Oh.
And then
So she lied.
somebody goes, no, and then somebody goes, is there anything else we should be worried about? She goes, yeah, the
Oh yeah, it was like a
six-armed
giant.
giant. And we're like, why didn't you tell us that? So, of course, I hated I scared the crap out of her as well.
Oh,
But then
poor
I'm a massive minotaur, and I had goatling hanging from my horns. Where
So after
don't
we
know,
narrowly
rush.
escape TPK and we exit the temple,
yeah,
what we do is we tell Phil that we're going to travel back to the original city that we came from to
Yeah.
have a rest. And so we
Okay.
don't
we
do
didn't have a rest.
a long rest. And halfway through there, we get ambushed by one of the titans and his army.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh shit, I'm on 2 hit points. What the fuck? But
what-
I mean, we proceeded to kick their asses.
We did. We
Good.
managed to kill what, 3 of them?
Yeah, the others run away.
Yeah, one of them tried to escape me, and I was like, "No, I've hit you twice. You haven't gone down. I am kicking your butt." And I
Yeah,
did.
I'm
I
sorry,
got a
you're
natural 20
dying
on
here.
that. You are dying here. I've hit you twice. You're not dead. You're gonna die. So at that point, it worked out great because I got a natural 20 at that point.
That was
So
that was beauty.
actually, it worked out as though my character was like, "No, enough of this playing around. You're gonna die now."
Oh.
So
What class
yeah,
were you playing, by the way, guys? Was there like a Minotaur? What class
I'm
did you play?
barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
playing a Minotaur War
Did you
Priest.
actually use Rage?
Yeah, twice. I used both
Ah.
rage. I had to use it against the Gigan so he didn't kill me because obviously it halves or you get resistance to certain damages, so I needed that. And then because I was still on low health, I used it against the centaurs at the end.
I think the biggest shock with the Gigan was I think it was Rob who rolls and like scores a 17 and feels like that's a miss. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh.
shit.
Yeah.
So he had like an AC of 18. I'm like, oh fuck, oh no.
Yeah, I
no.
rolled bad last night, but I think at one point in time I actually rolled 17s as well. I'm like, I can't hit the guy. I don't know what's going on.
I need to stop wasting my spells on easy
Yeah.
encounters.
I think
'Cause
if
I
you'd
wasted my
remembered the
blast.
Gigan was there,
Yeah, no,
you'd have
I
kept it for
totally
longer.
like
But
in my head. I'm like, yeah, just use it because we're gonna have a rest at some point, and
yeah,
you know you're gonna get it back. But
that's why I was reluctant to use my rage up until.
how
it's
many
definitely
rages
required.
do
I
you
only get 2 per long rest.
Two per long rest, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our Odyssey of the Dragonlords campaign. We survived.
Yeah, just about.
So now I think the next step is to try to prevent the sacrifice of that
the
girl.
princess lady,
Just-
yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure you get a rest first. You don't want
Oh,
to get
we've
into
already
yeah.
had our long rest.
That's good.
We made sure that we had a long
And
rest,
we recovered an artifact, the Horn of Amalthea.
which we had to drink from. I don't really know what happened with that. We got a dream or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a precognition thing, like a possible future, I think.
However,
Okay.
my character doesn't really care about that sort of thing. She's not stupid. She just doesn't really care about things like that.
Well, you say you're not stupid, but
She's not. She's quite intelligent for a barbarian. She's not. She doesn't have any low stats. I rolled really well with her. I used my awesome blue d6s.
in
Those ones.
Were they actually, physically in front of you when you rolled them?
Yeah, I rolled my dice. When I
How
built my
else would you
character, I
roll
rolled
them?
real dice, not digital dice.
Mm.
I rolled them from across the room, David.
Oh wow!
With telekinesis.
Yeah,
That's how we roll.
I used my force powers.
That's good. What there's to say? Yeah, it's been such a while since I've actually rolled a character. I have to get into it again.
Well,
I miss it.
soon. I am kind of hoping that the 3rd of March will not be a continuation of the Chronicles,
Okay.
and it may be session 0.
Ooh.
All right, so we're gonna do
Fingers
Icewind Dale.
crossed. Icewind Dale.
Icewind Dale.
Fingers crossed. I've got to get through this Mogworld book first,
Yes.
which we.
Oh, I finished it.
I have not.
I'm about 180 pages away.
That's a lot, David. Keep going.
I read about 40 pages last night.
Yeah, see, you say that I'm about 200 pages away. But my pages are a lot smaller.
What?
Well, I've got less pages. No, that's not true. I've got less pages because it's on my ebook. So I've only got
okay.
about 249 pages in
Total.
the actual total,
All right.
and I am on page 87. No, I got 247 pages, and I'm on page 87.
Hmm.
Oh, you're still very early on, though.
Yeah.
I am still very, very early on. I'm a slow reader, guys. I never used to be, but
What? Say, how long does it normally take you to read a book? For me, it takes about, if I was into it every
depends
night,
on the
about
book.
a few weeks.
I
It
can
depends
go
on the
through
book.
400 pages in an afternoon.
Yeah.
If it's like a really good book.
Same.
Or
I could go through.
not saying that this is not a good book, but like I have to be in the mood as well to read.
Yeah.
Like there were some Stephen King books that I couldn't put down. Like it was impossible. I had to finish it.
If it's a book that I really, really love, I can get through it so quickly because I can't put it down. Like, I'm enjoying the book. Don't get me wrong, there are funny moments in it, but I can put it down.
Yeah,
I'm not
same.
finding any difficulty putting it down.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's the issue I'm having, is that I read so many pages and I thought, it's a good chapter, I'm just going to end it here. Whereas books in the past, I kind of went, I could just do one more chapter,
just to remind people, this is Mogwil by, I want to say his name is Yahtzee something or other.
Mm-hmm.
Weird
Yeah,
name.
he's that guy, that internet guy that
Zero
does
punctuation.
that internet show. Yeah,
Escapist. Not a plug.
I'm full of information for people.
Yahtzee Croshaw, is that how you pronounce the name?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Best thing to
David,
do is
how was your Pathfinder Siege?
Well, we didn't actually siege. We prepared for the siege. It was actually a really good session.
Siege.
Yeah, we got back to the sort of the keep after claiming 3 boars to help feed the hungry. We got back and we're sort of at the stage planning it now with all the cards in place, everything. So as a guard as well, I'm quite devastated that the watch is disbanded totally in the town. So my indication is think, ooh, where are they? Like trying to find them all. So in my turns, I went to the captain's office, which was previously locked away.
Wait, are you doing the siege or are you being sieged? Because I'm confused.
We are doing the siege, but we need all the preparations in place in order to do it. So,
okay, because you said we went to the captain's office. So do you have access to the city that you're sieging?
We have the keep, so that's our holdout at the moment. In that keep, there's a captain's office where the captain would have wrote various letters to send off to the other keeps around the continent. The main town we're trying to siege is called Krellin, which is like a built-up sort of metropolis city, where an evil wizard. I keep forgetting his name. Honestly, there were like 3 names for that one wizard cultist.
Is he the one who gave the book to the goblin thing?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And the coin and.
I kind of remember the plot.
Yeah, I'm kind of like getting when you've watched something all the way through and then this plot thread just comes in out of nowhere right at the end, and you think, oh yeah, I was meant to listen, wasn't I? Yeah, okay. That's the point we're at now, where this plot thread is sort of woven itself into our just regular adventures.
So what did you find about the missing guards?
So I have found out a lot of them have been. A lot of the letters, everything that's been sent has been fraudulent.
They're a forgery. Yeah.
Forgery, because the captain's hand was in the actual cabinet that was locked, with the signet ring that uses to seal all the letters. And unless you're the captain, you can't seal those letters. So, with the hand being in the sort of a locked cabinet.
Well, wait, like
That's
a
a bit
severed
strange.
hand?
Yes, a severed hand with a really shiny ring at the end.
Why wouldn't they just take the ring?
I don't know.
Why would they put the hand in there as well?
That's so weird.
That is really strange.
And as my character who loves paperwork, I'm just disheartened that a lot of the paperwork below it was quite bloody. So they
You
severed
were
the hand.
more annoyed about the ruined paperwork than the
Mhm.
hand.
The fact that a severed hand was
Someone
in a
had-
cupboard.
Yeah,
cut
this is
off-
what the adventure's done to me. Yeah.
Why would they keep the hand? It's not Vecna. Why would you keep the hand?
No clue.
Can you
but
not use the ring if it's not
I-
attached to
I
the
have-
hand?
Maybe it was so attached to the hand you can't pull it off.
No,
Sure you can.
it was.
I don't know if it's
It couldn't.
cursed.
It couldn't be taken off at the point, so that's why they severed the hand. But now, because it's been in there for quite a while, it's able to come loose. But as a guard who sort of like stays by the laws, I know that I should not wear this because only a captain should wear this. So I'm in a moral dilemma.
I mean, a captain is wearing it currently.
Ex-captain. So
maybe that's why they left it on the hand. Because it's the captain. The captain signing for it. We don't know. Like, it's his hand.
So my end decision
my
was to
word.
actually go and say, like, in my mind, okay, so if this is left here, someone could steal it, which is very bad. So I have to keep it on my person in order to.
So did you take the whole hand?
I
or
took
the
it
ring?
first of all, and
What?
as I went to salute one of them doing a great
Understand
job,
why you wouldn't
I
just
held it up
take
against
the
the
I
ring?
went to salute. Did you use his hand to salute?
I did.
Oh.
So
So what you did there, David, is impersonate an officer. Because you
No.
saluted with his hand,
Oh
and you
no!
pretended to be the captain.
Yeah.
So you broke the
Oh.
military code, David. That's very, very serious.
You're
That
going
is-
to
That's a court-martial offense.
yeah, you're going to military jail.
Luckily, what I've done is I actually gave a promise to the thief Dim, and said I would pardon him for all crimes if we managed to get back the guard and all that. So, seeing as he was the only one to see me do it, it's kind of like, I'll give you this if you don't tell anyone,
I
But-
think what you should do is cut off your hand
So
and
that's a little
attach
bit
the
of blackmail
captain's
going on
hand.
there as well, isn't it?
This is what the adventures have done to me. I was a nice,
They've turned you into a
law-abiding.
bad person.
I'm not a bad
David.
person.
Oh, it sounds like you're a bad person.
You were a guard, David.
I were,
You
and then I was
had
relieved of
values.
service.
What happened to you?
Wow.
I was relieved of service, and then until I found a hand, I thought it was legitimate.
You're a
But then I found
bad
out
person.
it's actually forged. Oh, don't blame me. But
I'm not
just-
blaming you. You know what? If that's the sort of person you want to be, then who am I to
That
say
makes it
otherwise? I mean,
worse.
if that's the sort of person that you are, I won't judge you.
Oh no! Oh, poor me.
If you don't feel like you've let down your whole regiment, David, then it's
the
fine.
whole regiment are dead, supposedly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
you failed them.
What you're saying, David, is that
Yeah.
your whole regiment, you've got the whole of their
You're the last
Yes,
one.
you're
You
the
should
last
be
one.
better.
their
You should be better,
souls.
David.
You are they're no longer resting at peace.
Oh man.
Are you my conscience in my head, by the way?
I'm always
session-
your conscience.
Next session, you're just gonna dig up a grave, aren't you, David? Just
Yeah.
molest a corpse or something. Is
no.
that what it's come to?
I gave the proper the plan ahead to actually do it diplomatically in the keep, not to actually siege it. I said,
Oh,
why not
David.
just do this? Speak to them, and sort of like get them to stand down.
Speak in
Yeah.
Pathfinder. Is there a skill for that?
Yes, it's supposedly diplomacy.
How
but
many
it
rules
was-
are there for that one?
I don't know.
Like, how many dice have you got to roll to talk to somebody?
It's like 60
So-
pages of rules.
I have to roll one dice for diplomacy check. They have to
Oh
roll
my
one for
God.
will, and then that's
I
only
wasn't
the first stage.
serious.
I don't
So
think
if they-
David is being serious either.
If they really hate me, then
Oh,
I
I
have
don't
to do it
know.
a total of 5 times and continuously do it.
Oh, are you
So-
actually being serious, David?
Yes,
Yeah,
Is that what
that's
you have to
he
do?
serious.
is. That's how many
So,
dice he
I'm
has to
guessing
roll.
around about 15 dice rolls
Just to talk to somebody in Pathfinder.
to get them
Man
to like me.
alive.
Yeah, because I mean, you need 15 dice rolls for the lower jaw, and then for the tongue, you need like 8 more.
And there's extra dice just in case you bite your tongue while you're talking.
What?
So yeah.
Is that for when you're drunk?
No.
Oh my god!
Oh.
I really hope you're joking. And that's
I
not
really
true.
hope you're joking, but I have a feeling he's not.
If the
There is
GM
no way that there's rules for biting your tongue.
if the GM is listening to this, I know it's going to be implemented somehow. Honestly.
Yeah, you kind of deserve it for that one.
But I hope next week we actually get into the town because I
I don't
really
care
want.
about the tongue. I want to know more about the adventures of the hand now.
Yeah. What's going on with the
Maybe-
hand?
The hand is the true protagonist of this story.
Oh my goodness. Maybe I form a cult at the end of this called the Severed Hand. I don't know.
Or the hand. Talk to the hand.
Not allowed to use the hand that way.
You need to know the rules. The rules to talk to the hand. Otherwise, you can't talk to the hand.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
But how was your session, by the way? So we play all these at the Ball Play Haven, and
We didn't
Tuesday.
have a roleplay heaven session.
Oh
'cause,
No,
yeah.
we've only had one
Dash
so
was
far.
working.
What
But
was
the one
your
we've
first
had
one
has
like?
been really good.
I am planning like a series of one shots for when Dash is working.
Ooh.
Don't get
okay.
excited, David. You're not going to be a part of him. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I know.
Well,
It's on
he's
a
not
Tuesday,
part of a
so,
group,
yeah.
so yeah, it's nothing personal. But you have your precious Pathfinder to play.
Oh, that sounds
And,
really mean. Don't be mean.
A single tear goes down my eye.
Look at you telling me not to be mean
Yeah.
after you're super mean.
What? When?
Just a few minutes ago.
I was not. Okay, I was. Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't really played.
We've played one session. I'm liking my character so far. She's kind of annoying but funny.
She's annoying, but she doesn't realize she's annoying.
She doesn't do it on purpose.
She's
I mean, I
she's
do,
oblivious to the fact that she's annoying.
but she doesn't. So basically, she is a.
And she's annoying to me. Like she wouldn't be annoying to like one of her peers, probably.
No, she's a teenager, perpetual student who, the stereotypical teenager who's all about Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff,
She's the stereotypical
like selfies all the time and stuff like that.
college student from an American movie that we've
Yes.
seen, interspersed with Instagram and TikTok.
Yes. So real life things. So really annoying, and she just wants selfies and pictures. And
She's been fine so far. I think
she's
she's been
been pretty
really
cool so far.
polite. And
she's not a bad
and
person.
respectful.
She's just annoying.
But
doesn't mean to be, because she's not doing it on purpose. She's just annoying.
Have you been set rules for phones and what app?
She has a mobile
capabilities-
phone.
Yeah. Is there any rules for them? So like you have various apps on it, so it's like a bag really. Have you been set anything like that?
No,
What do you
no.
mean by rules?
As in certain apps on your phone, so you've got a camera, you've got a calculator, you've got GPS.
She's got all of that stuff. It's a
I mean, it's
high-tech cell phone.
2019 when we play, so anything you'd have on a smartphone.
Mm.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
I wasn't sure if Tash adjudicated rules, so certain
No.
apps cannot be used. Like
That would make no sense. Why would certain things not be able to be used?
location. So you can
That's
say
that's
this
a
is
cheap
disabled
trick.
because of location. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's got GPS. It's a cell phone. Whatever you've got in 2019 with a cell phone.
Which is everything. let's be honest.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm going to start doing this, like, if it ever gets to the point where she's got to identify, we need to identify a plant or something.
You can
Or
Google it.
I can Google it. I can.
No, you can Google it. Say I want to search on Wikipedia for this one, and then you roll for
Yeah.
how trustworthy the Wikipedia article is.
It is.
luck.
No, most of it is computer use. So she's fucking kick-ass with computer use.
Mm.
Because she's a student, so she's an IT engineering student. So it's all about technology and computers with her.
The only problem so far with this campaign is we haven't played together as a group.
No.
Like, me and Kaz did our thing, then Rob did his thing, and Nathaniel did his own thing. So we
Yeah.
basically split the party in 3.
Straight away, session 1.
Session 1, yeah.
I didn't want to
It was-
split the party, so when
I
Vass
didn't,
was
but
like,
it didn't feel like, because Nathaniel like is a bit of a outsider to the group. It
yeah,
doesn't feel like, and then Rob is like the superstar, so he's a bit out of reach. And
but we've got another person, Raoul. He couldn't make it to the first session.
Oh.
What's he playing?
Raoul's playing the security.
Oh,
So
that's
he's like
right. Yeah, security guard to Rob. So those two would stick together a lot.
I wonder if Tash is actually going to say separate you into certain teams for now, and then have an underlying plot thread for each,
It
and
wasn't
then
Tash.
you all come up together.
It wasn't
Oh.
Tash. It was
Oh.
it was a decision that was made. So
Okay.
Vass said he wanted to go and do a bit of research at the newspaper, and because my
Then I grabbed her,
character
'cause,
is computer literate and he isn't,
and I'm not.
he took me along for the ride, and nobody else was like, "Oh, I'll come with you." They were just like, "All right then." They all did their own
Rob
separate
was like,
research.
I'll order a whiskey. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I think Rob's character is a bit of an alcoholic. I'm not really sure, but I think he might be
Oh.
Functioning
a functioning alcoholic. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really sure about Nathaniel's character. That one confuses me a bit. He plays his character's a bit of a his character's a bit of a dick. Not Nathaniel, but his character.
Yeah.
Is so he's obviously
Oh
doing.
yeah, his character is a major dick.
Yeah, he's
Like,
sort of
he'll
doing
make
that thing.
Snarky remarks and
Yeah. He's
Is it
already
just-
made snarky remarks and done stuff to the teen girl. She hasn't done anything to offend anybody,
no,
but he has
she
done.
hasn't.
She hasn't. She's got
he-
manners. I don't think
Is
I
she-
could play a character who didn't have manners though. So.
She's well mannered. I think
Yeah.
you've played the character who.
I don't think I have.
What about that one shot we did with the brain cylinders and the plane?
Oh,
Didn't
yes.
she play an annoying businesswoman or something? On the
I
plane?
wasn't given that character. She wasn't really annoying. Oh, she was annoying. All my characters are annoying, but she. Yeah, that I wasn't given that character. You gave me that character.
Yeah, that's true.
You gave
Yeah.
me the stats for her, and I was like, oh, she's just a businesswoman then. Okay, I'm going to play her as a very efficient businesswoman. So she's in charge, she's doing this, that, and the other, and everybody must step in line because she's a businesswoman. So I tend to do when I'm stuff like that, I tend to do the stereotypical OTT.
Yeah, because it's
because
easier to portray.
yeah, it's fun as well. Because
It was-
people like that probably do exist in the
Oh
world.
yeah,
But for the
Oh,
most part, business people
I can
aren't
picture
really.
people like that in my real life. So
Yeah, they probably exist in the world. I haven't come across any because I don't really deal with business people very often. But yeah, so that one was given to me.
Yeah.
Even Big Mama was polite, so she was in charge, but she was
straight
polite
to the
about
point
it.
as well.
Yeah.
I remember, like you made the decisions. Like we're going here, we're going there. That's what I remember.
Well, someone had to, David.
Yeah,
Someone had to take charge.
I'm sorry, so indecisive, honestly.
I think I struggle to play a game where I don't have a smart character. This is why I'm struggling. I think a little bit with not so much struggling. I've never played a barbarian before.
I
For
mean,
a long time. Like,
I think it's a stereotype that
It's
you have to
weird.
play your barbarian like a moron who just
oh
fights.
yeah, but the thing is, I'm not because what was it? Was it Alchemist? Tried to break down a door by running into it,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, let's get the barbarian in." And I walked up to it, pulled
Use
the handle down,
yeah,
and opened the
door.
door. So it's
They
like,
say-
oh, they all expected me to smash it down with my axe, and I'm like, let's just open the door like a normal humanoid.
being.
Yeah, I'm not a human being, but a humanoid.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, they all expected me to like goring rush it or like headbutt it or something like that. No, I opened the door.
Phil last night mentioned that he. Do you remember that Kickstarter, the Dungeon Alchemist,
Yeah.
David?
Yeah.
Did you back it in the end, David?
No, I didn't back it. I'm already backing about 3 others, so it's like going.
I was really
Oh,
close to
noob.
backing it,
3.
but then I
Yeah.
didn't when I found out that what they were showing wasn't really.
Real?
Yeah, it
Was it
wasn't
not?
real in the sense that it was like a render,
Oh.
a pre-rendered thing. That's what they aim to do, but it's not there yet.
Ah.
So they have the underlying algorithm ready and the AI and all that. But obviously, like their program doesn't do that magic that we saw yet.
Mm.
And I thought it was a tiny bit deceitful on their part.
A little
They
bit,
do
yeah.
mention it in their FAQ,
Okay.
but you have to dig like really deep to find it. That this is a render. Like when they present it in the video that you see, it there's no mention that this is what we aim to have. It's like, oh, look what our program can do, and it is fucking impressive, but it's not real
Yeah, so their
yet.
program can't actually do that.
Yeah. So I think because I already have like, I don't know, 5 different map making products, and I keep going back to Photoshop for maps. I think I'm just gonna hold out on this one, wait for it to be like properly released, if it ever is, and I'll just buy it if I want it.
That's why I've sort of like I have a dungeon painter, I have all dungeon draft, but then I go, I want to draw this line. It's going to take me about 10 minutes to draw this line on those programs. Clip Studio
It's
Paint.
so much
I
easier
could
to
just
do
do a
on
curve.
Photoshop
It's just like,
for me.
mm,
They're smashing their goals right now. Like they collected like 125,000 out of the 40 they wanted, and they still have like a month to go. So they're doing great, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna get like all their stretch goals and all that. And I'm hoping that they'll have a good product on their hands.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if it looks
really cool.
anything like the renders that they've made, it will be amazing.
Yeah, I remember seeing something very similar when I was browsing Twitter for Animal Crossing, and it was a painter, so you can actually map out your island before you actually make it in game. And it had so many animations. It had, I think it was all HTML5 based as well, so it was able to be viewable on the browser. And yeah, as I say, although it may look complicated or it might look like it may not be the final product or anything like that, you can do a lot now. We can actually build models in full 3D, color them, paint them in a sort of rotation. Like we can do that now, honestly. So
is that for Animal Crossing? I'm a bit lost.
yeah, no, I meant about the last one's Hero Forge. Like you can actually make a model on there, full 3D, edit all the details, everything. Animal Crossing was the one about the island builder. I'm into it, Animal Crossing. So,
Cazz, can you translate?
Yeah. So you know what Animal Crossing is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a graphics thing to create the islands that the people.
Okay.
The
Yeah, I
people
got
live on.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're on track, yes.
So that's basically it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you did understand. You just thought there was more to it than there actually was.
I think there was more to it. Like
I
mentioned something else.
Yeah,
I
there's
went
a different one as well for.
I went to further go on about how and explain saying that with Hero Forge you can build a character in that in a desktop, So
Okay, that's where my brain lost you because I was like, why is that related to
I was trying to
Animal
compare how
Crossing?
you can make 3D objects on the browser. So if they can make
Right.
this as a dungeon, sort of, or like a procedural generated dungeon, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's
I don't see why not.
it's a neural network. You teach it and it does things.
Mm.
That's how it learns and creates stuff. I guess. I'm no coder, so I have no idea how it works. But thankfully, there are people in this world that are way smarter than me and can, get these things done.
Hmm. Oh, that actually brings us to another point, really, with Kickstarter and all that. I've got a lot of dice. A bunch more coming.
No.
You think you have a lot of
No,
dice,
you don't
but
have
go
a
on.
lot of dice.
I don't have a lot of dice, but
You don't.
what situation would you actually use metal dice in a game? Is there any
Never.
situation you would?
They are for display for me.
They are mostly display for me, but only if you have a dice tray, it's different. I would never roll them directly on a table because they get stuck. You ruin the table, and it affects the rolls. I've also found that you can't warm them up as easily as plastic dice.
God, there we go.
Just saying. They stay cold for a lot longer, so they don't roll as nicely.
Yes, but when you heat them up, wouldn't they retain the heat for longer, Cazz? Because they're metal.
They would, but they might be too warm to hold. I don't know. It depends on how you heat them up. But no, I have used metal dice before. Do you
want to tell our audience your theory about warm dice and?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. So
really, how the podcast name came about?
Okay, I did not name this podcast. You were
did not,
mocking
yes,
me.
you did.
But
we weren't mocking you. But
I have the notes of when we actually did the name, and it did come up quite a few times by you. So
yeah.
Okay,
So
Cazz, tell the story.
basically, when you're playing tabletop games, okay, I found for me, and a lot of people have agreed with me, that the dice roll better when they're warm because they bounce differently. Right, and I think it's a scientific thing that when the resin is warm, it bounces differently.
Don't bring science into this. Like,
No, because if you had a warm, say for example, you had a warm dice, it doesn't bounce as much as a cold dice, and I'm sure it's exactly the same for things like golf balls. When it's warm, it probably doesn't bounce as high. I don't know. But either way, I have found that when you love your dice to the point that they're warm and snuggly.
We're adding love to the equation now as well.
I'd love to it because you've got to put them in your pocket and you hold them and you show them affection and things like that. They roll well. Damn straight, I talk to them.
Oh
the
my
ones
goodness.
that are naughty get told off, and the ones that are behaved, I always say, "Good job, thank you very much." I say thank you to them. They've rolled well. They deserve the praise.
I came to a realization just then. You know that thing you're on about?
That Cazz is crazy, yeah.
I am not crazy, just superstitious with my dice.
Last week you mentioned about where your fingers had been.
But we didn't get 1,000 listens.
No, but
we came close. We were only 2,970
away from 1,000 listens.
My suspicion is that your fingers were actually in your pocket where the warm dice were.
No. I'm sorry, but I'm still waiting for that 1,000 listens. I will open this up too as soon as we get 1,000 listens on one.
Cazz will reveal where her fingers have been.
Yeah, on one of the podcasts from mentioning the.
What about when we get to collectively 1,000 listens?
I'll give you a sneak peek.
Oh,
like a teaser trailer.
That sounds like an OnlyFans.
This sounds gross, doesn't it? A sneak peek at where my finger's been. Ew.
You'll get a picture of a knuckle. That's it.
A knuckle?
Yeah, so...
I really hope she hasn't gone that deep, David.
You guys don't know where my finger's been. When we get...
And I'm happy that I don't.
Yes.
After the episode that we talked about it, any episode after that, if we get 1,000 listens on one episode, I will tell you where my finger has been. And this can go on for however long now, okay?
And that is a promise.
That is a promise. I will tell the listeners where my
Have
finger
you made a note of where you actually put them, by the way? Have you,
I'm
so you
kind of
don't change your
hoping
mind?
that it'll just come to me in the moment.
Oh, that spoils it. Like,
Don't
there's
say
no.
that.
I'm joking. No, seriously, I'll tell you where my finger's been. And that's a promise.
Mine's being clenched around
trying to steer this podcast back to its course now.
Okay, I have actually got something that I wanted to talk about before we run out of time. And David's going to be interested in this. David, have you heard about the Borderlands film they're making?
Oh, not Borderlands.
And the fact that Jack Black is going to be Claptrap.
Yes.
Oh, I read that yesterday,
How
actually.
cool will that be?
Very cool. I think he has the perfect sort of annoying tone to his voice that's not
Oh, I
You
love
just
him.
call Jack
draining.
Black annoying.
He's not annoying. What is wrong with you?
He's
Now all of
loud.
our listeners have left.
He's
Jack, if
loud.
you're listening to this, we'd love to have you on the
Oh,
podcast.
Jack
Yeah,
Black
We
is
don't
freaking
think
yeah.
you're
awesome.
annoying.
I gotta say,
And
I love him. Yeah,
the-
he's great.
out of the cast
you
that they've
can't
put
say
together
you're
so far,
loving now after you called him annoying.
yeah,
But
you
have you
can't.
ever like I watched have you ever seen School of Rock? The film
Yeah.
School of Rock. I've watched that about 20 times because of school, and
Yes,
it was
but how
the
many times have
doing
you
the
seen The
video.
Peak of Destiny?
I've seen it about 3 times. I need to watch it again.
Have you seen The Peak of Destiny 3 times?
Yeah.
I would
I watched-
never have expected that.
I
I
wouldn't
watched
have
it in the
expected that.
cinema. I watched it at home, and then I watched it whilst I was streaming. But that was about 2 years ago.
I'm
so
surprised you were allowed to watch it because it's a very naughty, naughty, naughty film.
It is, yes, especially when they're trying to get Pick of Destiny from
Did
the
you-
museum.
Did your parents have to take you to watch it in the cinema? Because you're obviously too young to watch it.
No, I was of age and I did watch it. So
Oh
I
man!
gotta say, right, of the cast that they've put out so far for
Mhm.
Borderlands, Kevin Hart is the only one that I'm gonna look at and think,
I get a
Roland.
thing. Roland shrunk.
yeah, I know, right? I'm like, don't get me wrong, Kevin Hart is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got this app, Headspace, and he's talks on that quite frequently, and I think he's brilliant. He's so funny. But Roland is supposed to be the warrior. He's supposed to be he's not as big as Brick, but he's supposed to be quite big and warrior type.
The only speculation I have is
Sorry,
that
just because I'm not so well versed in the universe of Borderlands.
Yeah.
We're talking Kevin Hart, the comedian, right?
Yes.
Okay, I love Kevin Hart.
mm,
I think he's amazing.
Star of Jumanji.
Well, so far we've got Kate Blanchett is doing Lilith, which is the main character really in Borderlands. She's absolutely brilliant. You got Jamie Lee Curtis doing Tannis, and I think that will work brilliantly because Tannis is supposed to be like a techie type character, and I think
Mhm.
Jamie Lee Curtis could play that perfectly.
Agreed.
You know who Claptrap is? He's that.
Me, yeah.
He's an annoying little robot, and I think Jack Black will do the voice of him perfectly.
Yes.
And then obviously Kevin Hart, the comedian, he's brilliant as well. But he's supposed to be playing Roland, who is supposed to be quite a large, well-muscled. What are you snoring for?
Sorry, we're still talking about Borderlands. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
fell asleep there.
Oh, give
Ah.
over.
Oh,
We sit here and listen to you talk about Cthulhu for hours. You could at least.
Are you comparing Cthulhu to Borderlands?
I'm comparing your favorite things to our favorite
Ah,
things.
when you put it that
Okay.
way.
by the way, who do you suspect will play Brick?
I don't know if Brick's going to be in it because he's not in the first game, is he?
He is. Yeah, he's one of the first characters you pick.
Brick. I thought he was
But-
in the second one.
He's in the second one as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean,
And you call
Probably The
yourself
Rock,
a fan,
then.
Kaz.
oh, I've played
no.
them all so many times. Probably The Rock. Let's be
I
honest.
say
They've got
I
half
say
of
Dave.
Jumanji's staff there already, cast
Hmm.
there already. They'll just bring the rest in.
I don't know. I was going to say Dave Bautista
Why? What?
Why?
because he always plays these sort of like he has a creed where he says, "I'm not going to be in a film unless it's good."
Maybe
so he
Vin
might.
Diesel?
No, God, please, no.
I don't think it's
No,
going to
not
be
Vin
No.
Diesel.
I
No.
seriously think they could bring in The Rock
He's
and that would
awful.
work perfectly.
hmm
But I think they've got a good cast there already to make it a very funny film.
And do you think it's going to be set between the pre-sequel and number 2, or is it going to be after the third? Because
Oh, yes,
they-
Kaz, that's really important. What do you think?
I don't know, to be honest. I think that they are actually gonna do something completely different. I'm hoping that it's not just going to be exactly the same as the game, because that doesn't always work out, and it kind of is a bit upsetting when they do things like that and it doesn't work out. But I think if they did something different but along the same lines, I think it would be
They
amazing.
shouldn't try. They definitely shouldn't try to copy the game.
They did
They
it with
should just-
Dungeon Siege, and they did it with like
Yeah, and
Um,
how did that end
Tomb
up?
Raider
oh,
as
it was
well. if you
awful,
remember.
absolutely
Exactly.
terrible film.
it's like the
Ruined one of my favorite games back then.
you
Well,
have
it's
to
one of my favorite games back
take
then.
the universe, treat it
Yep.
with respect, but tell your own story. I don't want to
Yes.
see like the video game I played in the movie form. That's not what I want.
No, if I wanted to do that, I'd play the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
why I'm really
the artistic
hoping.
form has to be true to the medium,
Yeah.
which is what I believe about like books that are transferred to the TV or movies and all that. I don't want to like see an exact copy of the book.
No.
I want to see the artist's vision of the book in a movie format.
Yeah, which is why I'm really hoping that with the Borderlands film, they do something that isn't exactly the same as any of the movies.
Yeah, and maybe
Yes.
then I'll like Borderlands.
Mm.
Oh, you're going to be dragged into playing it anyway because
I was gonna
You've
say,
got-
yeah, you already made me buy the thingy, so we
oh,
have
it
to
was
play
£7.
it.
Come on,
Handsome Jack collection. It's,
the Handsome
yeah.
Jack collection. It was £7
Yeah, I'm not
on
made
Steam.
of money, Kaz. £7. I mean, Jesus.
All
I
right,
know.
I have to work like a year to get that
well, that's
money.
52 different things as part of
Yeah.
it. Okay, it was
Mhm.
it was worth it because
Oh, yeah.
now we can all drag you into the Borderlands world and make you love it.
I won't love the world. I'll love
We
the
will
experience of
make
playing
you
with you.
Love it.
I think.
I think that sounds a bit rapey.
I
I'm gonna
don't
make
care.
you
We're gonna
love
make
it.
you love it.
Oh.
Okay, and since you talked about my love and passion of Cthulhu,
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
I have to mention a recent
Yeah.
interview by Mike Mason, another
Mhm.
love of mine. Hey, Mike, if you're
Yeah.
listening.
The wrestler.
Mhm.
The wrestler Mike Mason, who's also like a line manager for Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu.
Mhm.
So, in a recent interview, he mentioned an upcoming book that I'm really, 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 really excited about,
Okay.
and it's the Cult of Cthulhu. So it's more of like a source book where they talk about like all of the different cults of Cthulhu that exist in the world, and it's really interesting, I think, because for a guy whose face is on the cover and whose name is on the cover of the book, Cthulhu doesn't really get all that spotlight in the actual game
Okay.
for obvious reasons. Because
He's-
when
end of the world
Cthulhu
type
shows up,
questions.
yeah, the world ends.
Yeah, there's no
basically.
getting out of that one.
But his cults are actually like always active because even though Cthulhu is, well, he's dead but dreaming. Yeah, so his dreams are always like permeating the human world, and they're like influencing artists and making them draw like crazy shit, and authors, and you know all the artistic weird stuff in my head in this world happen because of like Cthulhu's influence. Like the crazy dreams that he sends out into the world.
Mm.
Um, so Mike Mason was talking about this book, and apparently it's going to cover like the whole aspect of the cults, including Deathless Masters, which we haven't seen in ever, and I'm really
Okay.
excited about that. And couldn't be happier.
You know, my
I-
favourite bit about all of this, I've still met him
Yes.
and you haven't.
Oh.
And I
I
didn't
mean-
really know him. And I wasn't like that
maybe
fussed.
because our reach from this will
It's
be to
brilliant.
them.
Some of his stuff is written. It's great. I don't. But I am nowhere near as obsessed as Vass is.
I'm not obsessed.
You're a
You're
little
making
bit
it sound like I
obsessed.
have a man crush on him.
You do.
I
Do you have a picture of him in your drawer or something, and you sort of
No, it's
touch
in his
it each
wallet.
time
no,
you
I have
say-
one in my wallet. Yeah.
I told you.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm
you
just
do.
playing along.
The thing is, you were so
You have a lock of his
upset
hair.
when I explained to you how I met him.
I think he's brilliant because ever since he took over in the new Chaosium as line manager, he's done brilliant things for the franchise.
I am not
Um,
disputing that at all. I don't know him. I'm not like as fanny about it. That sounds so weird as Vass. But
Mike, I love you, Mike. Oh.
yeah, I mean, I'm not. But like, obviously, the one time I actually did speak to the guy, Vass is traumatized by that experience, and he wasn't even there.
It's gonna be so awkward if we ever have him as
If
a
we
guest.
ever meet him, and I go, "You're Mike Mason, aren't you?" But the thing is, I
Yes.
nearly called him Mark Mason. I'm like, Mark
Oh my
Mason.
god!
I didn't.
I-
I didn't. I had to make sure that I googled his picture and remembered his name because I did keep mixing it up for a long
Mark
time.
Mason.
Mark
Imagine
Mason. I kept saying Mark Mason. No, it's Mike Mason. Mike Mason.
Oh.
Mike Mason. And the
I-
whole time, because I was like, what I can't do is turn up there, tell him how much Vass is obsessed with him, and get his name wrong. I just can't do it.
Which con was this, by the way?
I want to
Dragon
say
meat?
Dragon Meat. Yeah.
It was Dragon Meat.
Back when we were allowed
Back
to
in
go
the
to
olden
conventions,
days.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the olden days when we were actually allowed to congregate in public.
I know.
But he
oh,
signed those
and
books for you. He seemed very
Yeah.
he did.
nice.
I still have them.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
forever.
I mean, why wouldn't I? I don't know why I mentioned that.
Yeah, I
I
don't
still
know.
have them. I didn't throw them away.
I should hope not.
What has got you all
Uh,
giddy then, Vass? You just went, oh. You went, oh. And I did not.
You
I-
did a David noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went, oh!
Oh.
I don't know why I would go like that. I've never in my life
Well,
gone
you've
like
done it
that.
twice now, so
Did you Google Mike Mason
David's
then?
rubbing off on you. David's rubbing off on you. That sounds so weird. David's
Yeah, stop
rubbing off
rubbing
on
on me,
you.
David.
I'm not rubbing off on you, honestly. It's jeez, Louise.
But I did also get you, Kaz, hooked on a Chaosium product.
Hooked,
A little
not yet.
taste.
Well,
But
we're getting there. We're getting there.
there. We're getting there.
What product is the one talking about? Honestly, what product?
Yes, I've got a new book, 13th Age.
Seriously, David.
I don't
Like,
even need to keep talking, do
he,
I?
he gets excited about everything.
Oh, I know,
So,
it's
David,
so
I took
cute,
a breath
though.
today. Yeah, like that.
I inhaled too much.
He's gonna inhale too much one day and start choking on his
It doesn't
own.
help my desk is full of
Inhalation.
dust, so I'm inhaling little bits of my.
Ew, you know what dust
Yeah.
is made up of. Let's not
I
go down
do.
that road.
Yeah, my little Mysterio figure is covered in dust at the moment. He looks like that scene in The Dream when he's covered in snow.
Okay, so Kaz, what thing did you get? A
So
13th
it's
page book about.
13th Age Glorantha. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, cool.
Glorantha.
I'm not very good with long words, you know that. My brain just wants to screw them up. But I mean, I've liked 13th Age since before we met.
Before
And I
your
was running
13th
13th Age. Yeah, I was running 13th Age before we all met up.
And you've mentioned it so many times already that I'm getting tired of it now, and I want you to run it for us.
Well, I actually am planning on steering you all away from it after we've done Icewind Dale, and I will be doing 13th Age, and none of you will have a choice. Well, you do. You can just choose not to play.
Well, so Glorantha is the brainchild of Greg Stafford, which none of you know. You don't know who he is,
Nope,
do you?
I'm dumbfounded by the actual.
Oh God, he's a game designer. He was involved with Chaosium. He did some game design, I think.
Okay.
He died recently. He died a couple of years back.
Oh.
I think. He was a brilliant game designer. He made some really amazing things.
Yeah, because
Mostly with Chaosium and his own I think he had a publishing company after he left Chaosium, and that's where he released Glorantha under RuneQuest. I want to say RuneQuest, the game system. But obviously, Glorantha is so popular that they released it under several rule sets. Oh, and he also made King Arthur's Pendragon.
King Arthur's Pendragon.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. What is that like? Is that a role playing game? Is that a game? Is that a?
It is a role playing game. Obviously, it has a bit of a niche audience, I guess.
Okay.
It's not for everyone. It's not D&D. I've played it once, way back in the day. One of my friends back in Greece had it. But I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot from it. I remember it was very, very different to D&D.
Yeah.
Because it has things like passions and personal traits, and like virtues and religion is a major part of it.
Okay.
So it accentuates the
Gives you
RP side more than the
it sort of
let's
makes your background
let's
have
hit
an
them till they're
impact.
dead D&D side.
Yeah, like it's nice actually. Now we all have like our own game. Each like yourself with Call of Cthulhu, Kaz with 13th Age, and me with Pathfinder. It's quite nice that we've got our own niches, and we can reach out a little bit more
Yeah.
to
What about
everyone.
your niche, David? When are we going to play a game?
Well, I finished the stats for the Gremlins.
Okay.
Did you say
You'll find
gremlins?
yes, Gremlins.
Is that
Um,
different to a gremlin?
yes. Oh, yes, yes. I've made my own little
Why?
giants.
How?
The reason why is that because they just thought we are creatures who can survive in the cold. We are creatures that can have a sense of hearing, anything like that.
David, you
Why
really
do
need
we?
to read that PDF I got you, the
Oh yeah,
Lazy Game Master.
I did. I read
No,
the
you
first bit.
didn't.
No, I didn't.
No, he's too lazy.
I was too involved in our logo. I was going, ooh, okay, I'll do our logo.
Oh, David.
You need to read that Lazy Game Master. It's going to
But
change
I have
the
that
way
book.
you prep for stuff.
I have that book, and I'm even lazier than the book.
Yeah.
I just make it up as we go along.
I think you'd make him proud because that's his intent.
Well,
As like very minimal prep, and the prep is done in very specific areas.
yes. Well, that's me.
Not at all what David is doing.
No, I'm
No,
doing like
he's
all
going
background.
OTT on things like
David is
backgrounds
like
and maps and stuff, and I'm like,
David's like he's writing a book to be published, and he's
Yeah.
like including start blocks and maps and detailed
Yeah,
descriptions of stuff.
I've made maps. I've made cursed items. I've made items. I've made presents.
See,
I've
told
made
you.
maps.
I know.
I've made secret areas. I've
Oh,
made.
it hurts my soul,
Why?
David.
It's
Why?
it's because
Why
I'm
have
kind
you
of
gone
like
so
I
far into it?
Your
it
players will see 0.1% of that, and you will
yeah.
feel
No,
bad.
I've actually
You will
made
be
sure
so
that you see it.
gutted that
It's
oh,
it gives you a bit of flavor, but then I can expand on it on the time that you see it. So I've made one area say like you can go my route or you can go another route, but you'll get sort of hints of what you missed along the way, and it's your choice to go back or not. So I've made it like that basically.
I can't wait for us to play and see you cry about all
know.
your wasted time.
I'm gonna stem back to the last time I GM'd for you. How much of that do you think I actually prepared?
Oh, very little, very little. I remember we
Did
going
it
down a
feel
hole.
like I had prepared it?
I mean, yes,
Not to
yes,
you,
Kaz.
Yes
not
and
to
no.
you, but to
Yes and
everybody
no.
else.
I was making a joke.
Yeah,
Yes
but
and
you're
no.
used to it.
I think I'm in that mindset of just like I note everything down or try to note anything down. I'm thinking, oh, this will come back later. I'm that kind of person. Like
I can guarantee you that in the first 10 minutes you'll be scrubbling through your notes and be like, how the fuck did I not prepare for this? I can
why
I'll
did
take
they
a
not rest
bet.
before this?
I'll take a
Honestly,
bet for that.
Oh no,
I'll
nobody's.
put money on it.
I
Oh.
can guarantee that is going to happen to you.
Yeah. I mean, it happened the first time we played, right? In the first 5 minutes, you were like,
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for you to keep
No.
riding the horses.
I know the static in the actual book. So it says that the horses are frightened. Oh wait, you want to actually move the horses and
But
get
I
the
can
carriage
talk to
going
them.
again?
I rolled
Yeah.
a really high, I was
And we had animal
druid-y type?
handling and all that. Yeah.
Yes, you did. Because of like the scene itself, I went, oh, okay, so the wolves can actually move quite a fast pace. So I'm gonna make them, attack the horses because they're the ones driving you along. I did
My
think
point, David, is that nothing went as you had expected.
no, but it actually taught me a lot about just like off the
Don't
cuff.
trust your players. Your players suck.
Yeah, no
In
no
fact, you
plan
know what?
survives contact with the enemy.
You know what?
is
Being
what
a
that's
GM would be so much easier if there were no players. It would. Your life would be boring, but it would be
Yes,
easier.
I think
Like,
that's
so
called a
much.
screenplay writer, Kaz.
Yes. There we go then. Life would be
And it's
so
what
much
David
easier.
is doing.
Mm.
He's writing a screenplay.
Or or even like a what do you call them? You know,
Remember,
choose your
David, that
adventures.
the story is told by your players, not you. And you're writing the story for them now, and it's not good.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I just need to finish this out of the way, or at least get a big chunk of it done, and then set a date for playing. I just need to work out what time would be best. You know,
I think you said like a March adventure, didn't you?
yeah, I said a March adventure because it was originally going to be a December adventure, then I pushed it forward,
Oh,
and
really?
I said like, how in this world to say maybe they're celebrating something that's between winter and spring, and I kind of
He
went,
even has
yeah.
a calendar, Kaz.
Oh my god. I might have to hold off on Icewind Dale then, because we can't have too many games going at the same time.
Yes, we can.
No, we can't. I've already got 4 games on the go at the moment.
You have 4. I don't. I've got like 1.
It should only take us about 2 sessions, I believe, if I do it right.
Oh, you've got at least 3. You haven't got 1.
No,
Tuesday, you've got Cthulhu on Tuesday. You've got Dragon Age, and you've got D&D on the
I don't have
Fridays.
Dragon Age.
You got 3.
Eh.
Oh.
Oh, I have Tuesday. I have Tuesday, and then when we have the Icewind Dale.
But on top of that, I have my Sunday D&D gaming as well. So
Or chock full of
And-
games.
Any other topics anyone wants to discuss before we wrap up this episode? Because we've rambled on now.
we
for
have
ages.
rambled on for ages.
There is one that I want to say about. This is the one I actually I would have said after we were mentioned about Odyssey. I actually watched them on Netflix called Blood of Zeus, an animated
Blood of
anime.
Zeus.
Yes.
It's animated. I'm shocked, David. You don't
I
like
know.
animation.
But it's I believe the original creators made Castlevania.
All right.
Okay, I like Castlevania. The animation
Mm.
was really cool.
And they wanted to turn their attention to Greek gods, pantheon, and create a new story. It's also it is okay. I'm looking forward to season 2, but I'm just kind of thinking, where can it go from here? Like once you introduce gods, then what's above gods?
I mean,
In a way,
Greek mythology is endless. They can go many, many places.
Yeah.
Or they can disregard it completely and just do their own thing. Which is probably what they'll end up doing.
Yeah, I imagine so. But,
so have you seen like the first season of that?
Yeah, I watched it. I finished it the other day, and I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it definitely. But as I say, I know the base or level of the Greek pantheon and anything like that. So it's quite nice to see a new story and go, okay, you
What
have
did you
this
say it was
one
called
cat.
again?
Blood of Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Keep us updated then, David.
Yeah.
I think the new series is going to come out this year. So when it comes on, I'll definitely keep you updated with it and see if it's any good. But yeah,
let us
it's
know.
been quite good. Yeah, I just thought I'll end it off nice, rounded off by actually relating it to something.
I think that's all the time we have for this week. By the way, we don't want.
Yeah.
I think half our audience has gone to sleep by
I'm
now.
warming up.
That's okay, because
So
at least they
we should
listen
wrap
to
it up.
us when they're going to sleep. All right.
David,
Yeah.
it's your time to shine.
Okay. Right then. We've had a lot of fun here today, and
If anything's
it's
putting
it's
people
quite
to sleep, it's
it's
a
quite-
mellow voice.
it's quite nice to just relax now and have your night cup of tea or morning cup of tea and relax for the rest of the day
What if it's midday?
as you've finished.
We don't know what time this goes out, David.
Oh yeah.
What if they listen to it at 2 o'clock when it actually goes
I'm
out?
kind of
and it's
stressed at the
midday?
moment. I'm kind of stressed, but regardless, I think this is a good time to end the podcast. So that was me, David, and
Me?
Cazz.
Cazz?
Yes, yes.
Hi,
That's
everyone.
horrible.
That's
And that's
terrible.
me, Bass. Okay,
I think
David.
that's the worst
I think
outro
that
I've
was
done.
one of the worst.
It was.
I think I just had my sort of like the conscience in my head again going, is this right? Is this not right? I don't
You know what?
It's the voices in your head.
It is, yeah. I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you for listening, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Yeah,
Yes.
see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in and for putting up with our madness.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yes, see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.